This is the next video. In this video, I would like to explain about the machine learning, one of the machine learning techniques, which is association rule. The first agenda, you already learned about the data integration. And in this session, I would like to explain about the association rule. Association rule, I'm going to use one data, which is traffic data, and also there is one data set from the orange. So because before I explain about the association rule, we need to understand about frequent pattern analysis. What is frequent pattern analysis? Imagine that you go to shopping. Okay. So if you go shopping to the mart, you will use this card, and then you buy many things. You put everything in your cart, and then you will notice that the mart can recommend some products to you. So uh, if you already bought all those items, for example, the membership card, okay, the membership card, you need to show the your membership card to get some benefit, for maybe discount or something. And once you show the membership card, actually they save your data, they save your patterns, so they save your purchase patterns. They know that, okay, you always buy milk, you always buy bread, and etc. And this kind of purchase patterns, it will be useful for the mart to give the recommendation. So the recommendation means in the next few days, or maybe in during the weekend, what is the best product for you? Okay. In this case, how the mart can understand the product recommendation, because they already know your data, they already know your purchase patterns. Because this is a pattern, a pattern. It means a set of items. Items is, maybe carrot, orange, and so on, or subsequences or substructures that occurs frequently in a data set. So we want to see the frequency. So first proposed was in the context of frequent item set and association rule mining. So in this section, we will learn those things. The motivation is finding the inherent regularities in data. For example, the question is, what products were often purchased together? So if you buy milk, what would be another product that you will buy? If you buy banana, what other products that you will buy? Okay, so there might be some patterns. Okay, we call it patterns or regular radius. The other thing, maybe the question is, what are the subsequent purchases after buying a laptop? So after you buy a laptop, what will you buy? Maybe the back, or maybe webcam, or maybe printer, and so on. So this is a kind of sequence pattern. Okay, we call this is sequence pattern. Okay. There are many kind of application for this one. For example, you can use this for basket data analysis, like this one. Cross marketing, for the catalog design, for a sale campaign analysis, web log or click stream analysis, DNA sequence analysis. Yeah, we can use this in the field of AI, or in this case, we are still in the machine learning section. So frequent pattern mining. Okay, so we call it the frequent pattern. Okay, why it is important? So it is an intrinsic and important properties of dataset. So whenever you do the EDA, do you still remember EDA, the exploratory data analysis? When you do the EDA, you need to know, so what is the maximum value? What is the minimum value? What is the mean or the average? And etc. You want to know the mode, what is the most frequent value. So this is a kind of properties of your data set. And after that, we can try to figure out the association rule mining. So the frequent pattern is the basis for the association rule. And also the frequent pattern is the foundation of many essential tasks in machine learning. So for example, if you have the data, you can do the clustering. Yes. Clustering means we want to know the similarity of those two items. For example, okay, I buy bread and then I also buy butter, and then because they're showing the similar patterns, we put it into one group. But in the association rule mining, we want to know whether this bread has an association with butter. Okay. So it's part of the unsupervised actually. So this association rule, people say this is unsupervised. So it belongs to unsupervised machine learning because there is no target data. So we have the observation data, but there is no target data. Now let's see how to understand the frequent patterns. So in the domain of frequent patterns, we have the word item set. So item set, it is a collection of one or more items. So we have K. Yeah, K represent the number from 1 to until and so on. We have N, for example. So an item set that contains K items, let's say K equals to 1. So we have milk, we have bread, we have diaper. So we have only one item. And then K equals to 3. So it means we have a collection of items. So let's say we have milk, bread, and diaper. So it means there are three items in the same basket. Maybe we can say the same cart. Now, this is the data set that we have. For example, in the transaction ID 10, maybe this is the customer one. The customer one, he bought bread and milk. Customer two, he bought bread, diaper, beer, and eggs. Customer three, he bought milk, diaper, beer, and coke. Customer 4, he bought bread, milk, beer, diaper. Customer 5, he bought bread, milk, diaper, and coke. Yeah. Now, we can count. Yeah, we can count actually. If the k equals to 1, then the number of bread is 4. So you can see bread, 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 bread. Okay, so there are 5 transaction. Okay, we got it 5 transaction, and there are 4 transaction contain bread. Okay, that's the meaning by discount. And then when k equals to 2, what does it mean? So k equals to 2 means in one cart there are 2 items, bread and milk. And then we need to check how many transaction contain bread and milk. So bread and milk, bread and milk, bread and milk. Okay, there are 3. So we count into 3. So this is the k when k equals to 3. So we have bread, milk, and diaper. And there are 2 count. Now you will see that, mm, oh, sorry, this kind of data It'll be something like this one. So the data will be, um, if you look at this data, it's not that in the structure format, but when you put it into the table or the spreadsheet format, this is the format. In the transaction ID 10, we have bread, this is 1. We have milk, this is 1. Okay, because bread and milk is available. The other items, it is 0 because there is no purchase item in this transaction. For the transaction ID 20, bread is 1, milk 0, diaper is 1, beer 1, eggs 1, and coke is 0. Okay. So this is the data representation in the for the association rule. Then we can look at what is the meaning by support. So support means we want to know how is the frequency of the occurrence of an item set. We call this is absolute support, or sometimes we call it support count. Then if I want to know the support of milk, bread, and diaper. So milk, because this is only 2, so this is not the case. Bread, diaper, beer, eggs, no. And then milk, bread, diaper, this is also no. Milk, bread, diaper, okay. This is 1. Milk, bread, diaper, okay, this is 2. Then we can see there are 2. And there's also what we call as the relative support. The relative support means it is the fraction of transaction that contain an item set. Or we can say this is the probability that a transaction contain X. So let's say this is the transaction that we want. So milk, bread, and diaper. And the support S means if it is the relative, it is 2, because we have 2, divided by 5. So what is 5? 5 is the number of transaction. So there are 5 transaction. Okay. So the frequent item set means the item set whose support is greater than or equal to minimum support threshold. So we need to know what is the minimum support for this data. For the association rule means we have a rule X and we have Y. So it is a kind of implication. So the form will be X arrow Y, where X and Y are item set. So X refer to the antecedent, we call it antecedent, and Y refers to the consequence. So for example, milk, diaper, and then arrow beer. It means that if I know that the person buy milk and diaper, what is the chance he will also buy beer? Okay. So I can say if the customer bought milk and diaper, then what is the chance he or she bought beer? Okay, so this is how we can say about this rule. So the rule evaluation matrix, there are two. The first is support. As we know, it is the fraction of transaction that contain X and Y. The other is confidence. Yeah, so it measures how often the items Y appears in the transaction contain X. So what does it mean? So we can see like this one. This is the formula to represent the support. So the support means, yeah, we have the X, and this is X, and this is Y. So the number of X and Y divided by the total transaction. For the confidence here is the total of x and y divided by the total x. Okay, that's the difference. So for example, I want to know the milk diaper. So someone who bought milk and diaper, he or she also buy beer. What is the chance of the buying beer? Based on the support, based on the support, there is uh 0.4 or 40% of the customers they buy milk, diaper, and beer. But how big is my confidence that the person who buy milk and diaper, he or she will also buy beer? Okay, because how big is the confidence? How big is our confidence that the customer who bought milk and diaper, he or she also bought beer? Okay, so that's the meaning of the rules. Then we can see the confidence is the support, okay, that is the milk, diaper, and beer. This is the total transaction that contain milk, diaper, and beer, which is 2, divided by the total of milk, diaper, and beer. Okay, let's see. Milk and diaper? No. Milk and diaper? No. Milk and diaper. Okay, yes. Milk and diaper. Yes. Milk and diaper. Yes. Okay, now let's see how many of them that has beer. Okay, only 2. Then what I can say from here, among the customer who buy milk and diaper, among those 3 customer who buy milk and diaper, I have the confidence that the customer will be like 67% from the customer, he will also buy beer. Okay, because 2 among 3 customer who buy the milk and diaper, yeah, 2 of 3 customer who buy milk and diaper, he or she will buy beer. So this is the confidence. So let's see how we can do in the orange. So before I do this one, you need to install Orange. You need to install the Orange. You can go to the options and go to the add-on. Okay. So in the add-on, uh, in this case, last time you already add the add-on about explain. Okay. Explain is to show the explainability of the model, but now please add the associate. Okay, so associate means the association rule. So you can click on this one and then install it. After you install it, then you need to restart your Orange. So after you restart your Orange, then you can use the association. Oh, in this case, this is not the case. Yeah, this is the association rule. At the first example, let me show you about the data set. In the data set, there is one data set called market basket. Okay, so you can click on it until you can get the green color and then run it. So the data will be something like this. As I mentioned to you in the previous one, in the PowerPoint. So if the person buy bread and milk, it is 1. And if it is not, then it is just blank. So the question mark means blank, nothing available in this data set. And you will see the frequent item set. So the frequent item set means this is the number of data in the transaction. For example, bread equals to 1. It means the person buy bread and there are 4. Okay. Then this one. So it means bread and milk. Okay. Bread and milk. There are 3 data. And then bread, milk, and diapers. There are 2 data. And then bread, milk, diapers, and beer. Okay. If there are 4 items, so they have only 1 transaction. Okay, so you can check on this support. It means the number of data that contains those items. And we can see also the association rule. Okay. So the association rule means the x, okay, x is x, and this is y. So how big the chance the person who buy milk, he or she also buy bread? So you can predefine the minimum support, the minimum confidence, and the maximum rules. As you know, we have the support and confidence. You can see here the support is 60% and the confidence is 75%. Then I can say that milk and bread has 60% of support and the confidence 75%. Then 75% of the customer, he or she will buy bread when he buy milk. Okay, in this case, we can just say that, okay, you can put milk and bread at the closer location in your mart, for example. Now, if you look at the, yeah, this section, yeah, you can see that we can determine the support and the number of items that you want to use. For example, mm, in the frequent item set, the minimum support is 10%. Okay, then yeah, if you put a higher number, of course, it will be smaller item set that will appear. If you put the small number, then everything will appear. And then this is the maximum number of item set. So you can increase, and this is the smallest one is 10,000. The same with the association rule, you can also arrange the number of support. Okay. So let's say if it is too high, then you cannot find the rules. So you can find what is the best minimum support and what is the best maximum minimum confidence to show the rule. For example, like this one, then okay, this is the best to read the analysis. And also you can sort the measures. So for example, what is it though? Oh, I need to so you can sort the measures by clicking on this one. For example, I want to sort based on the higher confidence. So the confidence 1, okay, this is the confidence 1, and then 0.75 and so on. Now, let's see one application about this association rule. In this association rule, we can look at the how we can see the application in the traffic light. Okay. So in the traffic light, what does it mean? Uh, you know in the traffic light we can see we can see the traffic light and we can also look at the traffic whether it is congested or no congestion. Okay. Congestion and no congestion. in terms of congestion means there are many cars. Okay, there are many cars. 교통은 복잡해요. 예. But no congestion, there are less car or maybe not so many car. Then, yeah, we can look at this one. We have the data. Okay, this is traffic light monitoring in the intersection. So the question is how to monitor the traffic. Okay, okay. This is the first observation from north to south. Okay, from north to south and east to west. Okay, from east to west. So let's say I'm just using these two data. And the first is C, congested. So when the observation one from this one is congested, but from this one is not congested. Okay, not congested. The observation number two, this is congested and congested. So it means there are many cars from north to south, and there are also many cars from east to west. The observation number three, not congested from north to south, and congested from east to west. Okay, and so on. So you have 10 observations. So we have 10 data. Now, using this data, how can we monitor the traffic? Okay. The first thing we can do is to change the data. Yeah, if you want to use this format C and C, C, and so on, that's also fine. But in order to make it easier for our analysis, let me change to 1 and 0. So 1 means congestion and 0 means no congestion. And then after this, we need to calculate. So the calculation will take place when the k equals to 1. And then let's suppose I just put the minimum support, which is 40%. So 40% from the data. It means there should be at least 4 items, okay? 40%. So 40% from 10 data. Then it means at least there are 4 data. Now, when k equals to 1, I would like to check. So there are 4 combinations, okay? From NS, NS means north to south. From north to south, when it equals to C. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there are 7. And NS when it is not congestion. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, there are 3. From east to west, okay, there are 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the remaining is 5. So because we determine the support is 40%, so it means at least there are 4. So we can remove this one. It means this is not important because the requirement it should be higher or equal to 4, but this is only 3. And then after that, we can check the k equals to 2. What is k equals to 2? So when the north and south and the east and west. So you need to check one by one. Let's say this one, north and south, east and west. Okay, north and south and east and west. When the condition is C, C means congestion. This means not congestion. Okay, so when the condition is C and S is 1, this is 0. Okay, then we need to check 1 and 0. 1 and 0. 1 and 0. So there are 3. Okay. And then what about when it is 1 and 1? When it is 1 and 1, when it is 1 and 1, and when it is 1 and 1, when it is 1 and 1, it is, oh wait, This is 1 and 0, 1 and 0, 1 and 0, 1 and 0. So when the condition is congestion here and not congested here, so there are 4. When the condition is congested here and congested here, the support is 3. So this is 4. Then we can remove this one because the support should be higher than or equal to 4. After we have this k equals to 2, we can create the association rules. The association rule means, yeah, based on this 2, when k equals to 2, yeah, when k equals to 2, we can create the association rules. So 4 is the support. So we need to check the data. If we make this rule, this is the x and this is the y. Then when the north south equals to c and the east west equals to not c, we want to know the ns equals to c when the condition from the north to south is congested. So the total is 4. Okay, this is 4. And the total for north south equals to c is 7. So it means sorry, this is not support, this is confidence. Okay, sorry, this is confidence. So the confidence is 4 divided by 7. When the east west and c not congested and the north south is congested, we have this confidence. Okay, so you can check. So what is the analysis from this one? The analysis is when there is a congestion in the north-south direction, when there is a congestion in north-south, there is a 57% chance that the east-west direction is not congested. Okay, 4 divided by 7, it is 57%. When there is no congestion in the east-west, there is no congestion in the east-west, there is an 80% chance that the north-south direction is congested. So there is a 80% that the north-south direction is congested. So this is very high. So what is the possible action? As you know, when you do with the project, we have the PEAS. Okay? So we need to know the performance measurement, and we need to check the environment. Okay? And yeah, we need to know the actuators. So the actuators, sometimes we can also say that this might be the action. Yeah. And then, yeah, what is the sensor? So in this case, the sensor is traffic light. Okay. And then the action or the actuators is, yeah, maybe you can speed up this one. For example, the traffic light control system could potentially prioritize the north-south that is congested to alleviate the overall situation. So if the condition like this one, then we may do the priority to north-south. So maybe the traffic light here, the green light can be longer to make the congestion more release compared to the current condition. So, yep, in this example, we can know one of the application how to leverage the association rule in the real world. You can see from the orange, okay, if you look at the orange, so this is the association rule, okay. And yeah, you can also look at the frequent item set. So this is the frequent item set that we get, okay. So north south equals to 1 and the east west equals to 0. The 0 means not congested. So this is the result when the minimum support is 40%. And then this is the association rule. This is the association rule that we got. So the support is 40%, and then the confidence is 80%, and the other is the north south one is west zero. The support is 40%, and the confidence is 57%. Okay. Okay, then I will stop this video. I will continue with another video.